Hi guys. Sorry I was a minute late. We're in playoff hockey season and I thought I'd be able to see all of number 2 the second period, but no. So tonight what I have is some Temu stuff that I've gotten. Let's see. First I'll show you this. Let me see. I've got everything packed up around me here. Let's see. Let's go this way a little bit. So this is an awesome, look at that beautiful palette. It's all the teal sparkle blue. It has feet on the bottom, so that's nice. It has a thing to hold you if you do, because the feet are raised above that, it sits stable. And let me see. It opens. It's nice and tight. It is sharp on the inside, which everyone who I've ever seen have one of these has said this. It's sharp on the edges, but I've rubbed and it's not like going to break my skin. The cool thing about this, or not cool, I don't know, is you pull out the middle things, these things right here, and then you have your individual trays. Hello. How are you, Barbie? And then each pan has its place. This is a 24 pan, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 14, 24. And then once you fill them and put them back in, you put these back in there and it holds them down. It's actually really secure. I've never had one like this. I know some very, very old palettes are made this way. Been to sleep and up. Aw. Hey, Cindy the Bob. And then you can mix on here. I haven't filled it yet, but I will. I'm just deciding which paint. I'll probably make my own palette out of many different paints. So that's the first thing. I think this was, I shouldn't have paid this much, but it was like $20 for this. Well, which isn't much because I think on Amazon it's $40 and they don't have any right now. They're out of stock. Now, if you go to Temu, I put the information in the description. All you have to do is copy that information and plug it into search on Temu and it will pull the item up. Right now, I think they're $19.95 and I paid like $16 for it. So I'm happy with it and I will use it. And it just goes, this I collect. So this is a collector thing. Another thing I got from Temu was I got 2 of these actually. And these are basically 8x8 squares. And I got this one, and this is a Vincent van Gogh painting. Actually, it was one of his studies, but it's a painting. It gives you his name down here, and then it gives you a little biography that's really hard to read, but it says Vincent Sag William van Gogh, 1853 to 1890, also known as Van Gogh, if you're not American. In Chinese and Dutch, post-impressionistic painter comes from a Protestant clergyman family, often is seen as a pioneer of Impressionism and deeply influenced the art of 20th century, especially I can't read it, the something and expressionism. Oh, brutalist and expressionist. So it gives you a little thing. It is, I can't remember how many pages, 80 pages. So 160 if you do front and back. I'm using this for my pencil swatches. The paper is really nice. I wrote it with one of my like micron pens. You do see ghosting on the back. So I'm going to use it for all my pencil swatches. It came wrinkled. I got my money back for it, but it came wrinkly. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. The other one I got is of his cherry blossoms. It's the turquoise cherry blossoms. The turquoise cherry blossoms. That's like this one. I collect them all. That's on my phone. Oops, I have my light on. Okay. No, back to what we were doing. You have I have an eyeshadow palette. Yeah, that works too. Actually, a lot of people use their eyeshadow palettes, especially nice ones, to put their watercolors in, because you don't need as much watercolor and you can take it out with you. So this is what I'll be doing my my swatches in, and then I'll just always have them in this book. Also, it has it's 8x8, 80 pages, and it cost me $8, I think, $8 or $9, which isn't bad for a sketchbook. The next thing I got, oh, it's upside down. Am I upside down? There we go. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you upside down. Is my water paper, and this is like, is it 8? Yeah, it's 8.5 by 5 or something, 4.5. So it's like landscape. I just got it because I wanted to see what the paper was like. This is where I'm going to, I took this one out. It's not bad paper. It's 140 pounds or 300 grams, which is standard for watercolor paper. It is cold pressed, and it's drum pressed, which means you can see the same pattern repeat itself. So I'm going to do my paint swatches in here. So I have 12 paints that I'll be swatching from the Ocean Color set from this Dededepraise. And I was kind of disappointed because it's glittery. So it did not say that in the description on Temu, but it does say that in the description on Amazon and Walmart. And I put those prices in. I paid $6 something for it, I believe. I can tell you exactly if I can. Oh, it's not, oh, more there. Let's see. The paint set, I paid $6.48. This book I paid $3.98. So that's great. I got 15 sheets. I can use them for my 12 piece study or watercolor studies, or I can just use it for fun, which is really what I got it for. So I'm happy with that. And then let's see. Here are the watercolors I'm going to test out. So they come in this cute little, this is paper, and it opens, and then it comes in this cute little pouch, and it comes out like this, and then you can paint. Now, if you want to mix them, I would suggest that you take this outside and use enamel spray paint and paint it white. You can paint the whole thing white because you can mix well on, and see your colors on white, or you can tape it off and just paint the inside. I tend to mix on my paper itself, so I'm not really concerned with it. And now that I know that they're sparkly or glittery, I probably won't use them as much as I thought. Who knows? I'm always surprised at what I use. So let me put these up over here. And then the last thing that I'm going to try is I got a 120 case. They were out of the 180. So I got the 120 Brutfuner, which Brutfuner is a very good pencil company. And these Brutfuners were $37.48. And I got 120. And these are watercolor pencils. So you can put them down like you would a colored pencil and then activate it with water and a brush, or you can have wet paper and put it down. There are many ways, and I'll show you some of those when we get to it. First, I'm going to start with these Ocean colors. They are color fast is what I have found out. Now, it does not give me the, it doesn't give me any of the information. It just says that they will not fade, which means they're color fast. So let's see. Let's pick out a brush. This is a handover series, which is just, there we go, handover series. And it's a 299.8. It's synthetic, but it's got a really good flip. And I like this size. Basically all I'm doing is going to wet my colors. Let me get this out because I don't want to get a mess. So I use paper towels when I do watercolor because I do. And I usually let them dry and we'll reuse them several times. This is a mister I have, and it mists. It does not spray like a traditional spray water gun. So water does. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to use this and I'm going to pre-wet them. See how it sprays like that? It's lovely. It is airtight in there. And I did notice it got kind of stinky one time. So I cleaned it out. So we're going to do these. I'm going to do these this direction. So that will be the direction that I'm using. And I made a square and then I put a line in the middle. The line in the middle is to show you how transparent or translucent or opaque each color is. So, ooh, these are wet. Oh, look, see, I just put some on and it wet really good. So what I'm going to do is I start with the mass tone, which is the darkest. Ooh, I kind of like it. Oh, I see the glitter though. And then I'm going to get some of that off. And then you just work your way down from the mass tone. That's called a gradient. So I know what color I'm going to get at darkest down to the lightest. And I like that one's pretty. And then I rinse off and I have two. I have this one and this one you can't see, but that one's the clean one, so it doesn't matter. I have a dirty and a clean one. So I wrapped it in there. I wiped it off. So it's not full of water. Ooh, this one's nice too. I like that color though. So this is, ooh, look at that. I am going to need a little bit more water on my brush, I guess, than I had. And so I'm going to make my gradient. In college, we had to do this with, I think they had a 24 or 48 set, and we had to have 6x6 squares. Was it 6x6? I don't remember. But you had every color across and every color down, or half the colors across, half the colors down, and then you mixed each one. It was a pain. Someday I have those swatches still. But that's how they had us swatch. And I mean, I'm forever grateful because I definitely know how to swatch, but they actually graded us on them too. So I got pretty good at swatching that way. That's not how I swatch now. I don't swatch to see how things mix. I swatch to see what they're going to look like when they're dry. Ooh, this is called granulation. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. See how the paint's separating there? That's granulation. That, my girls, is granulation. Oh, I don't have it. I changed my screen again. Live chat. There we go. So granulation's fun. Right now, everybody's into granulation. So that was third, fourth. So that's big. That's cool, though. I don't necessarily use a lot of granulation. Ooh, this is a color I like. This is a color I like. Ooh, it granulates some, too. That's kind of fun to know. It's a red. It's kind of a burgundy, like that. And there's some granulation in that. Let's see. 5. It doesn't take long to swatch your colors. Oh, look at that. That's burgundy. Ooh. And I don't swatch it all with just one brush or one thing. You know, I'll get the color out of my thing and go down on the swatch. That's fine. I'm not a purist. I don't have to do it that way. I'm not in college anymore. I just do it so that I can learn a little bit about how the paint flows. Now, it's not highly granulating like that one, but it's pretty nice. So I'm at 5. This is 6. So we're halfway there. Oh, this is a purple. Look at that. I'm a purple. I like purple. Now, some of the granulation we're getting, you can see. I'm going to get a little bit more of that and bring it down here. Some of the granulation is because of the pattern of the paper. So if you had hot press paper, which means that they warm it up, it's hot, and then they put a hot press on top of it and squeeze it down, it flattens all the fibers out. So you don't have the pattern on the paper. You may not get some of this granulation. This one will always be a granulator. Now we're going to green. And I got enough water on these with that spritz, just that 1 or 2 spritz that I did. I don't have enough water in this brush. This is not my favorite brush. I'm quickly learning that. This actually may be one of my granddaughter's brushes. Doesn't hold a lot of water, which means it doesn't hold a lot of pigment either. So you can see the pattern on this paper. So I would probably never like do something that I'm going to sell on this paper, which is fine. I mean, it's $4 for 15 sheets. It was never, I never thought it was going to be like the best paper in the world or anything. I got it more because I wanted some paper to play with and I wouldn't feel bad about it because watercolor paper is expensive and I like having lots of it. Because that's something I ran out of art supplies when I was in college because my husband and I were married with a baby and art supplies were expensive even then. And I would run out towards the end of the semesters. So I tend to need to have a lot of supplies around me or else I get like a scarcity mentality. And I skipped one. Shoot. Well, we'll just fix that. We can fix anything in this little studio of ours. I'm going to, for the time being, oh darn, they're out of order. That's all right. They probably won't stay in this order because if I decide I like them, I will probably I'll label them with a Sharpie and I will probably, oh, this looks like a diaper. Speaking of having a baby. Ugh. Not my favorite color. This green, oh, isn't that funny? Both the granulating ones are on this aisle. Okay, let's go to this next blue. I have a feeling I might really like this blue. Yeah, I do. Blues aren't my favorite, but I do like a good blue stormy sky. And this is a good one. And it's going to be a granulator too. So now we got a gray, which should be a silver. Hey, Pam, how are you, my dear? I found an envelope for you, Pam. And I think what's in there, don't know, didn't open it. It's just in the pile to go out tomorrow. I think after you got your die cutting machine thingy at one of your hauls, I told you I had one and one of the auction packets from Keisha's Creations. It's a flower or something. I stuck it in there and then I stuck some other goodies in there for you. So I'll be sending that out tomorrow. So you'll probably have that by Friday or Saturday. Pam just lives one state over from me. So this is a silver. I'm all up for silver. Silvers are my favorite. It looks like a gray. We'll see how it dries, how sparkly it is. Now let's go to this. No problem. I'm glad you're going to get some use out of it. Ooh, this color, this may not have had enough water on it, or it just may not be very dark. Okay, I'm getting some. I'm not, the only one that hasn't activated well is this very last one. And in watercolor, that activation can make or break a paint for some people. And it can also, yeah, I'm not really into that color. It's like a Payne's gray with stuff in it. So to be honest, there's several colors in this palette I like, and they're drying. And so I don't see these as ocean colors. That's how it's labeled, ocean color. Well, I call it retro. I'm not really seeing ocean. These may be ocean, like a deep dark. It was a dark and stormy night, that kind of ocean, but not, I'm not really seeing ocean colors. I am seeing retro beautifulness, and the glitter is not strong on it, especially once it dries. So we're going to let this dry. And that was this palette. Oops, I don't want to put it back in there, but that was this palette, guys. And as they dry in the next few minutes, I'll pull it back out and I will let you see how it dries. What was the next thing? Let's do this watercolor. Okay, so I got a Meeden crochet pieces. All right. I know how to do a little crochet when I worked as a social service director in the nursing homes. The ladies love to teach me how to crochet. Actually, I think they really more enjoyed it to laugh at me, but that's fine because I was quite funny. So this is a Medina. These are half pounds and there's 24. They were out of the 48 set. I can't remember. Hold on. I'll tell you what I paid for it. Just a sec. I'll go out of chat. Let me see this. Medina. Heavy enamel teal by Medina. $11.98. So I paid 50 cents a half pan. That to me is fine. Totally worth it no matter how much I use or don't use it. Because this will be a pan that if I don't like them, which from the reviews I saw online, I think I might like them. They do call them professional. I don't know anything about them. I know they're sold all over the internet. You can get them. I know there are some reviews about Medina paints on, and I'm not sure that's how you say it. Medina, I don't know. Their palette is fabulous, and that's what they're known for, is palettes and easels. And then they branched out during COVID. Oh, they're wrapped. Okay. So let me bring you guys in here. So they're each wrapped. We may not do this one tonight because unwrapping them's hard. Let me just pick one that would be easiest for you to read. This blush violet probably would be good for you to read. So here we go. We got a blush violet. Oh, I might sneeze again. There we go. House slippers from a 1970s pattern. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So there's a key on these. Let's see if I can get it to focus for y'all. There we go. So there's the name. Name doesn't really matter because names aren't consistent across manufacturers. It says solid watercolor paint. That's nice. It does have 3 stars, which that tells you it is light fast. Then it says its number is 2685C. So that's going to tell you if you went back to the Meeden watercolor to order another half pan or a tube, that's the tube you want to order. It's fully transparent. That's what the white box means. They say it's a 1.5 mil and it conforms to all of our standards. So that's good. So let me see here. I will take this off. I want to try and keep. Okay, there we go. So I took it off because what I'll do is I will, I'll show you next Monday night when I'm on, or next time I come on with them. I will lay down all the color strips and then I will do the swatching above them. So I got that. Then they come wrapped in this, which is supposed to help them travel, not let the paint go everywhere. And I have no fingernails. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Not let the paint go everywhere and keep it safe from, you know, just traveling. Ooh, these are nice. This is what a half pan looks like. It's nice, well-rounded. That's good. That's good. Oh, and they don't fall out. None of them are loose that I could hear when I was jiggling it. So then I can put it back in. So I will, but, and it's a big but. Oh, I don't have, oh, I can't do it. Okay, so if I had my Sharpie in here, you use a fine line Sharpie or whatever waterproof pen you like. On this, because there's no labeling, I will put Meeden, Meeden. I will put on the label, I will put blush violet on there. Not that it really matters, but whatever. And then I will put number 2685C on there. And then I will put 3 stars, so I know that it's color fastness. And I will put the white square and not anything else. And that will give me everything I need to know about this paint, should I put it in somewhere else. And because I don't have that pen in here, and I don't have one, all I have are fat ones in my brushes. Guess I need to go to Dollar Tree and get some more small liners. We won't do this one tonight, but I will do this one online with you guys. So, because I'm excited to try these. They did, it really, while it does say 24, it did come with a white. It doesn't say if it's titanium or what, but it came with a white and a black. So to me right there, it's really only a 22 set because I don't use watercolor white. It makes things chalky. If I need white, I will either use my Uniball Signo pen, white pen, or I will use my a white gouache. Hey, Susan. And then black, I don't need black. I can make my own black. Usually I would typically use, hey, those aren't in order either. That should go over there. I will use Payne's Gray or neutral tint or mix my own. So anyway, I'm really happy with these guys. I think these were, I'm top of the moon for them. So I'm excited about them. Now, let me rearrange just a tad since we don't need to do all the watercoloring right now. I really should spend some time in here. So there, let's move these watercolors. I'll get them back out. I'll need those jars of water later. And I'll need my a brush later when we're working on this. But let's get out the Brutfuners. I'm so excited about these guys. So they came in 120. They came with this awesome plastic thing. And I think I'm going to leave it this way. They have 5 trays. Oh, they're just absolutely gorgeous. Now, Brutfuners are supposed to be color fast, which means they won't fade as long as you take good care of them. I've tried to adjust my lighting, but it's not adjusting very well. There, that way you can at least see what it says. Now, they did come with a Brutfuner DIY color list, and it has a place for the color, and then it says color name, but it's color number. So that's great. And I will fill that out and keep it in the box. I'm not going to do that one tonight. Tonight, I'm going to use my new Van Gogh book. This one, if you missed it earlier, it's an 8x8. Just has his painting on it. I love it has that kind of like suede feel. So I'm going to do all my pencil swatching in here. So on this side, so I have it open left and right. Let's go back up. Let's get you out for a second. There we go. So I have it open. So I have a left and a right. On the left, I'll put Brutfuner watercolors, 120, where I bought them, what I paid for it. And then I might go online and look up some reviews or what the company says about the pencils, and I'll write that down. And then over here, I will start my swatches, which I need a stupid pen for. Oh, there's one. So here. So I will write Brutfuner. This is tray 1 is what this one's going to be. Tray 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 of these. Tray 1, and it has 2, 4, 6. It should have 40 in each. 2, 4, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 in each. Obviously, I was not a math major. So there's 24 in each. That means I can do 3 rows of 8 across. That should work. So the first 8 are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to be right to here. Let me pop this one out. This will be the last one. So Brutfuners, they tell you what they are. Brutfuner watercolor, because it's spelled the English way, Queen's English way. Pencils, And it shows you a watercolor brush. So if you don't read that, you understand. And this one is 109. Hey, Willow, how are you? I just showed some stuff I got off of Temu. And tonight, and I was going to do some more watercoloring, but they require a lot more work than I want to do in the middle of the night. So we're going to do these. I don't like the gold. Really, I don't like the silver either. It's hard to read. Okay, so this is pencil number 073. So we're going to put 073. Then the next one is 066. And they do sell these, or they used to, I don't know, individually. So I can go back and purchase them. And like I said, there are 148 or 180 or I don't know, 100 and something more. 092. I did not get the biggest one. They were out, and I paid $35 for this one. I think the biggest one was $40. So it wasn't that big a much difference. 110. But I would have liked to have had them all. I don't need them all. You should see all the watercolor pencils I have. I just happen not to have these. And since I could get them for a really good deal, I decided that I got a credit from them. So I decided that this was a good way to spend that credit. I have I have 109, 109, and I have 46. So there's the first row. So now we get to see. Everybody swatches different. I swatch much more boringly than most people. While the barrel or the color of the lead and the barrel are close, markers and watercolors, markers and pencils are two of the things that I would never go by, whatever that is. So this one is 09. So what I do, no, Brutfuners aren't a knockoff to, Brutfuner's been around probably as long as Prisma. And most people in America are Prismacolor people. I'm not a big I don't like pencil. In fact, if you had asked me before I taught, I would have said, no, pencils are a waste of time. But I did, one of the years I taught, it was all colored pencils. And then next year, or the first year, was colored graphites and colored pencils, drawing. And then after that, it was then it was just colored pencils, basically drawing. Most of the kids have been in my class. Okay, so what I do is, is the brand, I don't know. Is this the same look as a Prisma? You would know probably. I don't know. So in that case, they may look like a knockoff. But they've been around almost as long as Prisma. I looked it up one time. It was part of my curriculum. And I had all that information. It's just not in my head anymore. 46 is the next one. So I make two. How about we come down again? There we go. And so I make two swatches. Now, and this is only because these are watercolor pencils. I press really hard. I mean, it's not harder than what I normally. They look much alike. Okay. I thought Prismacolor had black on them. Is that a different one? It may totally be a different one. Don't listen to me. Like I said, this one's the second one. This is third. So I make two. If I was just doing one, I would just do one. Now I go back over it, but that's because I want to give them the best chance possible. And actually they're smooth. I really like them. I like them as watercolor pencils or as regular pencils. I don't like hard pastels. I don't like hard pencils. I don't like H or HB leads, which is a hard base lead. I go for the F or the Bs. Bs are my favorite. And I love the HBs that are, you know, like HB10. It's real dark and smushy. Nope, that's not 110. Why would 110 be not the last one I checked? So if I was doing plain watercolor or plain pencils and not watercolor pencils, I'd only have one. And I would do it a lot like I did those watercolors. I would go from the top and I'd rub it down and get lighter and lighter so you could see how light it could get. And then I would go through and do that just a little section so you could see what it looks like if you layered it. Because with watercolor or with colored pencils, layering is a big deal. Oops, I got a little off my thing. Oh, see, this one's not as soft. And that's probably just because of the pigment base on it. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like this one as much. Good thing I didn't start with this one. Oh, okay. Well, Willow knows her pencils. Now we all know. See you when you come back. No biggie. Nope, you're all held hostage. You have to stay with me. If you guys don't even make it through all this, it's fine. I just knew I probably wouldn't do it unless I did it online. 68. Is that a 68 or a 6? I even have my glasses on, so I should be able. That's a 6.6. Right? 6.6. Okay, don't. This is a 6.6. It only matters because, well, you like to be precise, but because, yeah, the reds are harder. So red, the pigment to keep that binding together, they must just have to use more. Okay. So I did that. And let me find a brush. Can we find one I like this time, maybe? I don't think any of the ones I like are in here. That's way too big for this. There's one I love. So I said, here's one I love. I don't know anything about it. It's unlabeled. I bought this at a store warehouse. It says it's a round number 8. But I don't know if you can hear. Listen. That's flipping that way, so that's a good sign. I like that noise. Let me get my clean water. Probably won't stay clean. Well, it might. Who knows? And I don't have a towel over here either. I have decided to move I'm doing all my wet stuff upstairs, so I have moved a lot of it up there. Let's see. Got a drink, sorry. Oh, that is good. So I'm going to get my water, my brush, and I wet it so it's not dripping. It's holding all the water. Here. There's no drips. I dipped it in and I pulled it out and there's no dripping. So that's how I like my brush. I am going to I'm going to do the top line for wet. So, ooh. Okay. We're going to pull you guys back in. I'm going to have to reshuffle a little. There. Look at that. It activates really good on the water. You do still see some of your line, but I'm not going to scrub that out. So now you can see the two differences in that one. And you'll watch as that dries. My lighting is like fabulous tonight. During an auction, it couldn't be like this. And there's nothing different. I love this color red. This is like a pretty lipstick red. There's not a lot of excess pigment coming off. My water onto here. No, don't get those. Okay. Ooh, that's a pinky one. Now, you can make the colors darker by layering or by adding mixing. Let's see what we got here. This was the very hardest pencil. That one was, I think. But this was a hard one too. This one's really melting really good. I like that. As you can see, there's not a lot of pigment coming off. So I put it in there and I drag it out and it flips the water off. Oops, there was some still water on the shaft of that one. Doesn't really matter in a book, but ooh. And see, these went on soft. Remember I said that? Look how they're melting with the water. Oh, goodness. I love it. This is why I like watercolor pencils. Now, when I collage, I use watercolor pencils a lot. I didn't used to, like when I collaged in art school and so on and so forth. Ooh, look at those melt. Okay, you have to stay down though so that you don't do that. Oh, am I on? Okay. Look at these melt. But now when I collage, I will, I don't use markers or pencils and stuff on it. I use my watercolor pencils, and I'll go out over my lines to add highlights to things and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the first row, guys. It's drying. You can see that these are starting to dry. So now we need to do our second row. And I didn't do it ahead of time because I wanted you guys to see kind of the process. You're back. You weren't gone very long at all. I'm going to go back out. Okay. So these are the first 8 on my palette. I am just going to drop them down. I'll show you something else when I pulled these next 8 out. This one is, oh, I just marked on myself. What, or what, 47. 47. 60. Let's see. Yellow is a good one to show this. Oh, I picked a good one to show it with too. What's this number? 001. So when you're buying pencils, if you're buying them open stock, or if you bought pencils, if you're having trouble with them sharpening in and such, you need to look and see if the barrel is centered. See how my lead is centered perfect in that? That's a good pencil. You won't have breakage. Plus these were highly protected and it's centered. I don't think, let me see. I'm looking on this first tray. Some of the leads are a little smaller. Some of the greens and the blue lead, the bluey greens have a smaller lead, but I don't see one. Oh, there's one that's off center. There's 2 right there back to back that are off center. And I'll show you. Oh, hold on. It is off center. Okay. So I'm going to show you. Like I said, that yellow one's perfect. As I spin this green one, you can see it's off center. It's not just the color of the barrel or color of the wood that's different. It is a bit off center. It may have trouble when I try and sharpen it. Now, I use a pocket knife or X-Acto knife or some sundry sharpness like that. I tend not to use pencil sharpeners when I do this. What I do. Okay. So that way it doesn't matter. When you sharpen it, because you are in control then. 108. And then you won't have your lead breakage. Now, I have pencils that I've bought, from an art store or from Walmart or from wherever I bought them. And I've tried to sharpen them and the lead inside is broke. And if the lead inside is broke, it's just like using a mechanical pencil. It's going to be a problem. It might fall out as you get closer to the break. You might. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're going to have to fix this. That's what I get for talking. 010. 036. 015. 8. Then I'll just move that one over. Okay, so is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Lots of people will do grids when they do this because they want to be exact. I don't really, it's not, I just want to know what these are like and if I will ever use them. Another way people do it, I think I'll have enough on this sheet, is some people will do it this way. Ooh. Now see, I'm coloring. I got to bring it back down because now I'm not there. You love the retractable X-Acto knife. I will have to see which one you got, Pam. Some people will do it above the number and below the number. I'm showing you just different ways. You do it how you want. Now, you see this color? If I went and picked this color up and then I put this color down, that's a tennis ball green or yellow, however you want to call it, I would be a little annoyed. This is why I do things ahead of time with these pencils. Now, do I always have my book with me when I'm coloring or using my pencil on something? No. If I start using it, this is a harder one too. These are harder than those. If I start using these a lot, I'll learn all that. This one was 115. Okay. Oop, back to softness again. But it does annoy me. Now, like the yellows are matching up very well. So, and most of these matched up really well to the barrel colors. Oh, no, it's over here. But that's why we do this. That's why we play with our art supplies. Because you're not going to learn them if you don't play with them. And I'm not a good player because I tend to spend money on my art supplies, which all of us do. Money's precious to me. And I tend to not want to play because that means I've wasted paper and pencil or whatever supply I'm using. Now, the best way to rectify that for me has been, well, I definitely swatched now. Oh, I've got some favorites in each of these already. This one goes on butter, and it looks like butter. I got some of these too close, and I apologize, guys. Ooh, we got a neon. I bet this one's not. Neons have a dye in them, and they will fade in the sun. So I will definitely check out color fastness on these. I don't tend to use them on my big paintings anyway. These I use more for illustrations. You're right. That's exactly it. Oh, it annoys the crumb out of me. I've taken them back, crumbled, and asked for a replacement. Now, I didn't always do that, and I should have. When I was poor, it meant more even. I should have done it even then. But as I've grown up and become an adult, I realized that we're not paying for broken things, and the store needs to give you your stuff. And the times that I've done that, oh, that's that yucky brush I don't like. The times that I have taken it back and shown them what happens when I try and do that, they've been very nice to me and let me get a new one. So we'll start back down here at this. Ooh, look at that. But they should. You didn't pay for a broken supply. You paid for a good one. I will print out a grid with the number. Oh, yes. Auto sheeted watercolor paper. Yes, I've done that. And to be honest, I will do that for my watercolors. I just got on Etsy, I got a thing. Oh, the butter one. Look at that. It keeps going and going. It's a giver. It's a giver. I bought a new palette or way to do your swatching. I'm very excited. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I will. See, in the neon, this is crap. Look, it's not moving at all. It didn't move at all. Bad pencil. This one's moving. Good pencil. That neon's crap, guys. Which is exactly why I don't buy neons. And then this 036, it practically goes away. Don't put too much water on that puppy. I'll give this neon another shot, just in case you thought, no, nothing. That one was, they all moved except, so that's a hit for me. The neon was a hit, but that's okay. I don't know when I would ever use a neon. Honestly, I do have some neon paints, watercolor paints, and they look as good as the day I got them. So, oh, they don't ever move. Okay, that's good to know, Willow. I never had neon pencils. Watercolor pencils. Okay, so these should be my last 8. Oh, I picked them. Oh, Kristen. Okay, there. I got them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Not that it matters. I don't know why I think I have to have them in the order they sent them to me. That's a little 113. I don't like this way, so I'm going back to my way. 113. This one is 114. I would rather, this may be because of markers, I honestly would rather have it, I would rather have them done in numerical order. So I might come back and do them in numerical order. Numerical order. Good, you can't see that. All it does is it shows you the ones. So like in watercolor, the first 30 paints are usually in rainbow order, or because it's watercolor, it may be yellow to darkest because that's how watercolorists think. But they are the cheapest pigments first. And then you have your next, your B's and your C's and such. Oh, 103. So they're not usually in order either. And I did better on this one, guys. 007 and 051. Now the exciting thing was, it's kind of driving you nuts. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm doing it that way. This is rainbow order. Actually, it's not. Oh, yeah. Well, no, but this is, I'll tell you why I did it this way, Willow. Let me move this tray. That is bad now. This is the trays that came in the box. You missed that part. But they came like this. So I was doing them from start to finish on each tray. And because I'm not as neurotic as you. I probably am just as neurotic at you, just not in this. To me, it doesn't matter because really it's not about, like, I'm trying to match colors right now. It's that I just want to see how they work. Like I never would have known that neon wouldn't move like that if I had never done that. And you might have told me that, like, you know, in an informational video or something, but having not done it myself, I wouldn't have probably remembered. I will remember now that neon failed me on national, international YouTube because it didn't do it. But normally I wouldn't care. And when I swatch things like from the manufacturer, I swatch them in the order the manufacturer gives you, not the way I might then go back in and put the palette. I know right now the thing is to do Roy G. Biv. Okay, this palette, or this one, which wasn't sharpened as good as some of them, it was sharpened to a finer point. And this one is the 103 green. It actually flaked off. Like you can see where the lead, see, it's gone now. The lead flaked off. So that's interesting. None of the others have done that to me yet. And these are soft again. So I think it's just like with every other art supply, whether it's gouache paint, rewettable gouache paint to watercolors to other types of pencils and pastels. Certain colors are just a harder, consistency. Ooh, this one's really milky, but this is a pastel. And that's what, I was going to tell you that. So Brutfuner were the first to come out with an independent pastel kit. I have it. Of course, I don't think I think I left it out there. I don't think I brought it back with me to show y'all. I bought it a long time ago. I just haven't even opened it because I kept telling myself I'd do it and I never did. And then, so that's why I'm on here, because I do it if I come on here and do it. They're called the macaroons. Now, I'm not I like color, so I tend not to be a real pastel girl. I tend not to be, I can't count that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How come I have 9 pencils and, oh, well, obviously I can't count. Ooh, I like this color. Green is my favorite color in the world, followed closely by pink. Not that I have a true favorite, but, people ask and you can't say, well, I like them all. Well, except my granddaughter. She says rainbow is her favorite color. This one will be kind of a neon-y color. I kind of squished it. Oh, you got squished in there. I'll put you up higher. But green is always a color I've always liked. My favorite is like an apple or a lime green, grass green, that kind of thing. Granny Smith green, which this color is. Now, the tube is not that color, or the barrel, or however you want to call it. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I'm not great at this. I should have just done a grid. I should have made my own grid. We're going to do the top again. Oh, that melted. Had too much water on it. You don't need a lot of water when you do these either. If you're one of those people that has a water pen, so it's one of those pencils that you can fill the water up in and use it. That's what I would suggest. I'd suggest wetting it, and then don't push the water out when you're trying to activate these, because you just need dampness. You don't need wet. Because you could see I'm melting kind of some of it. They move around good. I'm kind of excited about these. I may do a full-fledged painting with these sometime. I bet these are going to mix good for me. So we'll try that in a minute after I get this done. These move good. They melt well. I honestly couldn't even tell you. I have probably 10 different sets of watercolor pencils over there. And I don't have my book. I have a 3-ring binder that has all my samples in it. That way, when I go to the store, I have the list of Brutfuner colors, let's say, and I can look and see which ones I'm missing. So these did good. This paper does not dry quickly. There's no humidity in my house. It's dry. They're not drying fast. That is I used more water on these and these dried. Okay, so well, I don't think you were here when I did the colored things. So while these are drying, I have to, because I can't flip the page. Put those up there, and we'll go back to these. That made it a little dark. Oh, you don't need to see my pigments. There we go. Okay, so here are these. And I must say, I for $6 or whatever I paid, I'm thrilled with these. And I would highly suggest them. I will do some painting with them before I give my finals. But right now, that's what I'm feeling. They are glittery. Like, I can see it's like mica from, like, if you put eyeshadow on, it's kind of like that kind of glitter. So you have granulation. People ask what granulation is. It's the paint separating. which means it's different colors of the paint pigments. That's granulation. This is granulation. And you say, oh, but that's all of them do that. Nope. Look at the one right next to it. That one, I put them on the same one you guys watched. So that is actually a quality of the paint itself. Let me see. I'm looking in my thing. Oh, you can see the shine in them. So there you go. Hair dryer. Yep, I got one over there. I'm just not going to use it. You know how loud that would be. I think this one will be a granulating one. You can see it start happening. I just didn't. That was the first one I did. Love these two colors right here. When I put this color on, I was not happy with it, but it's not bad actually. It's a green gold. This I like. So I'm actually really excited with these. Didn't think I would be. Now they have other sets of these. They have on Temu, they had 2 other sets of 12. And so one of them was metallic. I don't need another metallic set. I'm not a high metallic girl. Don't use it. These are still drying out though. See that? That's not the shine, that's wet. They're still wet. So I can't put their lid on. But guys, this has made me like so excited. This beat all expectations. So what I'll do probably, because you know, I'm not going to be able to keep this and this together. Look, their size difference. This I will fold. Well, I will probably put double hole in it. It will go in my thing. And on the back here, oh, look, it has notes. So I usually put when I bought it, what I paid, and I had free shipping. So that was it, $6.48. This was a steal. On Walmart, it's $13.14. Sometimes you could get free shipping on Walmart, so that may be all you have to pay. Amazon, it's $14.70. Again, with the free shipping. AliExpress, I thought, oh my gosh, there's such a good deal. No, because you have to add the $5.11 for shipping, so then it's $9.37. So then they aren't such a good deal. But Walmart and Amazon have this exact set or sets in different colors. I may put those on a wish list so that, you know, Mother's Day's coming up. And so that may be like my son. I might tell him, well, you can go on my Amazon wish list and see, or my daughter, or, you know, my husband will say, what do you want? And I'll tell him, and he'll say, okay, here's some money. Go get what you want. Happy Mother's Day. I might get, they have a, oh, I can't look it up. My phone's right here. They had a retro color series, which were kind of like Art Nouveau colors, which these are very evocative of Art Nouveau, except the Art Nouveau ones, their retro ones, had more pinks and greens. Not quite as diverse as this. So they had those. I saw they had the metallics. And I have the Gansai Tandy Kuretake metallics, which are some of the best, hands down, in the industry. And you can buy them separately as a 6 or an 8 palette. So I don't know that any metallic would ever beat those for me as far as like a water-based thing. And then they had 2 more that I saw in like Walmart and them. So that may be like what I decide. Because I think this would add such a nice, I'm building a gradient set. So not gradient as in it lighter to darker, darker to lighter ombre kind of thing, but as in these granulate. And I'm doing a gradient set from full set, from yellows all the way down that granulate for me. So these may just end up going in those granulation set as one of the green gradient and the brown gradient. That's like a sepia color, and sepias will do that. So that I'm really, oh gosh, guys. Ironically, I might have to say that this was the buy. Willow says her favorite is the blue, the green, and then the purple. Oh, that triad right there. Oh, that's a beautiful analogous triad, which just means that these are the colors they're by each other on the color wheel is analogous. So my favorite is going to be the green. I think those probably, I would add this one in there. This green doesn't do, I mean, like I'm not excited about anything here. I'm only excited about this because of the beautiful granulation. This green is to die for, in my opinion. It excites me. And that's one thing when you're doing when you're doing, when you're painting or when you're doing that, part of what makes you happy is what excites you in your paint. And so these are exciting me. So I will probably be painting with these. These colors down here I may never use except to give me some contrast. But if I want contrast, I can use this blue to get a contrast with that. And if I want contrast for these, I can use this to get a contrast. I don't need to use this silver color that's kind of dead or this color that's just bleh. I mean, those two colors, neither one of them. And this one, I think you could combine this one with this one right here. We can do that. Let me grab another. Where'd my pad go? Here we go. Because that's the other thing I like to do is I like to see how colors mix. So let's see. We'll put this right here. I can't keep it in the screen and do that. So I get my paintbrush wet. These are still fairly soaking wet. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the purple. I will have to label these because otherwise I won't know. This is the purple that everyone seems to like. So I'm going to put the purple. I'm going to do the purple. I'm going to mix these two colors together. So the way you mix them and know how they work, you put one on one side. Oh, wow, that's just a pretty, pretty color. And then clean your brush. They also don't pigment out your water, I'm noticing. So we'll get that color. Let me turn my paper. And don't, lots of times you watch people paint and you don't see them flipping their papers around and stuff. Ergonomically, do what's best for you. Don't. I flip my paper around on screen because I don't want to hurt myself. I want to keep my arms and wrists and fingers working as long as possible. Okay, so now we have these two colors and we want to see how they merge. So what I do is pick up a little bit of red, a little bit of purple, and we're going to mix them here in the middle. I got too much purple. So there's the color. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty color. There's the mix of those two. It was about an even mix. Oh, and you can add, oops, that's the wrong red. You can add more red here. So as it's coming in, it'll fade to even more red. And oops. And then I don't have any water. There we go. And I want it to be more purpley here. And then let's mix a little bit more in here. You just want to keep it fairly even. So as this dries, you'll see how these colors mix together. That's a good one. Let's do the greens now. So I'm going to get this beautiful green. Let me see. So that was purple. Here's the green I like. Turn it this way. Here's the green I like. Let me, ooh, you dried out. Don't dry out on me. There's the green I like. I love how it fades out into that beautiful color. This paper shows the pattern so much. I don't think I'll ever. So I have this one. Oh, let's do that blue. It was the third one in. So let's do this blue. Because you know blue and yellow make green. And blue and green make teal. So let's see. As always, it seems that blues are more pigmented than especially greens. It takes a lot to get a pigmented green. It's just because of that. And because this is one of the primary colors. Depending on how you learned your primaries, I should say. If you're talking about printing, then it's not. Now I'm going to move this out. I'll move this out. I am not good at doing mixing videos as much, like on paper. Okay. There we go. Oh, I stuck it in the silver. Oh, I didn't need to pick up that much blue either. Don't fall back in there. We want you to mix. Oh, can you see the color I'm getting? This color is almost exactly the color that's on here. See that? Oh no. I see. See? I can mix this color right here that my brush shadows on, this one, by mixing these two. This is an even mix though, so I like to keep it that way. This just has more blue in it. I can make this color easy. And so that's a convenience color, but I do like the way this is pulled out. I may pull this one out. Pull. Oh, you still have blue in you. Don't mix that up. Ooh, blue and purple together will be fun. So what ones did I use? I used this one down here. We're going to add some purple to you. And then the one right next to it. Yeah. And I'm going to put you right there. Now we can mix them. There we go. So that's the mixed color. Here's the true red. There. That's actually pretty. What other color could I mix for us? I can mix the blue and the purple together. So let's go with purple. Here, I'll get it dark down here. Another thing that playing with your stuff like this does is it teaches you how much water you need in your brush versus how much pigment you want in your brush. And I didn't space that very well, so let's go with my blue. I don't know if you guys watch. Her name is Natasha something. I'll try and remember to put it down in the comment or in the description. She's from England. She uses moody colors like this. This is almost exclusively what she does. So I'm going to get some of that, and I'm going to get some of this. And these two, ooh, look at the gray I got. Let's fold this. Oh, look at that color. So this is the purple. Here's the purple. Here's the blue. This is what you get when you mix them. Oh, don't put the blue on the purple. Don't be a dingling. You can tell it's late because I'm not thinking very good. So how about some of that? There we go. And then we will combine our colors. So there you get a really rich purple. You can also, I'm going to show you a trick. Here's, because I like purple. So there's the purple we got. I'm going to put the purple here. And then I'm going to just add a lot of that blue. This is the blue up there. So then we get that deep, not enough purple because I want it to be the purple base. See the purple color we're getting? That's more like if you're from Kansas, this is more like wildcat purple. And then let's see, I'm going to take this blue. Oh no, I was doing purple. So let me take the purple. Let me take the purple again. So I'm going to take the purple again. There's the purple. That's just straight purple. And I'm going to use that other blue we had. That's kind of a green blue. It's this color right here. It was next to the real green. I'm going to add that. Oops. I'm going to add that. Ooh. And that purple is like a dirty purple. It's dirty. It was a bad boy. It got in the dirt. So, but those are all three different purples. Now, you can do the same thing. If I use that blue that we liked, I'm going to start it up here. There's the blue that everyone liked. Well, at least Willow and I liked. I don't know if anyone else did. Now I'm going to take that blue. And here where I use that other purple, or where I put the blue in the purple, I'm going to put the purple in the blue. But instead of turning it to the bluer, or turning it to the purpler, we're going to use heavy blue. And then we're get a dark, there, look at that. That's a dark purple, dark versus that. And then we'll take the blue again. And I put it in that bluey green. So we'll mix some bluey green in here. That's the one that doesn't mix. And that makes an interesting color. That makes kind of like a forest green. Closing in teal and net. So I also, oh, you can see the spreads of those colors. Look at that. So you know that the blue, when you're mixing, it will go to this. And these are even mixes, even. Or the purple and the red, pink that we had, blush. I really like that color it makes. And you can get it out, and that's called a potter's pink in watercolor land. And then here's the green that I love with the blue that Willow and I both love. And it makes this color. And then here are the purple and the blue starting out as their mask tone. Here they are when I put the opposite purple or blue in and make it lean towards their color. So it's heavy on the purple, light on the blue, heavy on the blue, light on the purple. And then one more is the mask tone, purple or blue, with this mix here. And that's what it did to those. So you have those. Now, the back side of this paper isn't the same. It's flat, so it's good to write on. So I won't do that coloring mixing again with that, but I would do that. I can do that with all the colors, and I can then do a gradient like that too. So that's the best way to get to learn your colors. If you're not, like when I taught color theory to high school kids, and well, I taught all grades, K through 12. But when I taught color theory, the best way for kids to learn color theory is to work with color theory. So you learn that analogous colors do the best together. That's colors that are next to each other. That's why they're called analogous. And you learn, I'm going to flip that right back in there. I'm going to quit that. There we go. And then you learn that by mixing a color with a color that's analogous to it, you can just get different tones of that color, or tints, or shades. A shade is with black, a tint is with a tone is with black. A shade is with different colors in it, and then a tint is with white. So that's all that is. That is one drawback of this little thing, is this. So what I'll probably do is transfer this into, I did order one more palette from, it was a Meeden or whatever palette, and it's just the smaller one. It's the shorter one. So it would look like this, only it's black. It would just be a half one, and it will hold 12. So I will probably transfer those into that. These are the paints that I put out last week. Oh, these are beautiful. I have wet paint all over these are the paints I put out with you last week. Remember? And I was telling you that after they dry, they'll sink. Look, my finger is down in there as opposed to being level. See, there's its level. There's it with, it's down in there. So what you should do then is to take this paint. I say, Kristen, what did you do with those paints? Oh, there they are. Did I put them back in the box? Like, seriously? See, this is the problem when you sell and do things online like this. You keep these stupid boxes. I will get rid of both these boxes. This one, though, I will cut this out and put it in my paint thing, probably. Okay, so that doesn't show me what did I do with those tubes? Those tubes came in a wonderful palette. Do I see the palette? I was going to show you how you just fill them again. Oh, here it is. So then you just, and because I wrote the name on it, oh no, I didn't. Because I know exactly where I pulled that out of, I can go in here. These are Sennelier. These are made with honey and gum arabic. So they take the pigment, they put it down into powder, then they put some gum arabic and some honey, and then they mill it until it becomes paint. So we have the white, which I've filled twice. I won't worry about that one. This is primary yellow. So this is dipped down. Now, if I was selling these paints or giving them to someone, I would come in here and you fill from the center like that. It will fill. It will level itself out. So that's what I'll do. I actually am sending some of these paints to someone. Oh, to Cindy Loves Jewelry. I made a little sampler card for her. I don't have that here, but I can show you how to make one because there's someone else who had asked for one. So if you, let me use the back of this. So what I'm going to do is, they're called dot cards. And companies will make them and sell them, which is kind of annoying because you shouldn't have to pay for samples. I don't. Yeah. So I'm using this landscape paper that I got, you know, the 15 sheets for $5 or whatever. $4. Let me, now that I filled that, you're going to have to go there. Okay. So I don't have a bone folder, but I'm just flattening that out. So on the outside here, this side looks better. On the outside here, I'll write Sennelier, which is French. That's why it's pronounced that way. I've heard people pronounce it really weird, and I don't like it. Sennelier. So they know what kind of paint it is. Then I'm going to put the series. This is La Petite Aquarelle. That's what they call it. I spelled petite wrong, didn't I? Yeah, it's an E, not an A. Petite. I took Spanish, not French. La Petite Aquarelle. And this is the 12 set. And then I will put a date on here so you know when it was made. I almost wrote. So then they know. On the back I put oh, it's gonna fall. Sorry, I'm trying to write my name and oh. Did we lose?
Yeah.
How bad?
1.
Oh, just the one?
It was in overtime.
Oh, in overtime?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to go to bed.
Night. I love you.
I love you too.
That was my husband, guys. Sorry. So on the back, I just put my name and my email. So if they have any questions, they can email me. Because I never know who I'm getting this for. So I said 12, right? Which means stop. Here, I'm going to move this set. It's just falling. You should see I have crap everywhere. I have a friend that calls it crappalant. I call it crappalant because it is a crappalant. So I'm not going to put anything on this side. They can use it. On this side, I'm going to write, oh, I'll give them white. That's so stupid. But it's, what is it? Titanium white. So I'll put white. And it's 116. So I put that. Then the whole, oh, I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know if I can do, I'll have to do 4 across. 4, 4, and down. So if I do 4 across, this, I can't show you on the white because it doesn't show up. So primary, yellow, so then what you do is you make a dot. It's so just like it says. Now people make their dot cards however they want. It's their choice. I hold my thing down, I touch the thing, and then I squeeze. And then I pull up. That's a good amount of paint right there for y'all. Now, I'm going to do it again for the white since I put it out there. I only did the white because I said this was a 12 set, and so I should do it for whoever I send this to, or him. I didn't put very much white out because white's dumb. I'll do this one. And you can see how much it spreads. Like it wasn't that big when I put it out. It's the honey. These aren't going to dry. I'm fortunate that I live here in Colorado, so they dry fairly hard here. But they're not going to dry fairly hard if you live in Dallas or Atlanta. I'll put this one right here. Come on. So I'll let these dry. In here, I will cut a piece of parchment paper or saran wrap, you know, to put over this, and then I'll close it, and then I'll put it in an envelope and mail it. And it's just a orange. It is just a first class stamp. So it's not expensive to do this. You're just sharing your paint. It's a nice way to share your paint with someone you like. Or I know one of the people that asked me about paint, she's never tried like expensive paints, and I wanted her to see what it was like. So I decided that I would do one of these for her. She doesn't know. She didn't ask for this. Primary red, number 695. But so they'll dry, and watercolor you could reactivate with water. So she'll just have to have a brush and use it, and you can mess up your card. It's not necessary. I know a lot of people would like make the grid, like probably Willow would. I won't send her one unless I make it a grid, I promise. So the next one is Rose Permanent. And lots of times I will, oh, that's the other thing I should do, number 60 for these people. It's not number 60, it's 690. I hope whoever can do that. So there is the paint number, or there is their number, and then I should give them the pigment to it too. This one is, let me do the top row. That way I won't be. The pigment for this is PW, which is pigment white. PW 6. And it is opaque, so there's an O. And it is I shouldn't have done the opaque. There's no reason to do that when I'm putting the box in. And it is light fast 1, so I'll put the 1. So since I'm doing that, I'll put a key over here. Anybody still here, I wonder? I don't know. If you're not here, it's okay. If there is somebody. So I'm going to do a key. You know, like you'd see on a map or something. So opaque equals O, or box that's totally full. Look at that. So she'll know what those little things mean. Pigment, I don't have to explain the number. I can put the number is company number. Okay. And then what else was that? Oh, light fastness. And not everyone cares about light fastness, to be honest. It isn't my main concern. Light fast. Can you please show me light fast NR, not rated? Okay, so light fast, you have NR, which equals not rated, which I can't believe they have a yellow that's not rated. That's bizarre to me. And then they do 3, I think, is their top, right? Not rated. 1. I don't think they have it. So that they know, sorry, I didn't want to smear that. So that they know light fastness NR equals not rated. And then down here, it says 1, 2, 3 in Roman numerals. I don't think they go up to 4. Some will go up to 8 even. I mean, it's just a scale. So you just have to pick your numbers. Worst to best. So number 1, it will fade. Doesn't mean you're going to lose the whole color. Doesn't mean it's going to turn tomorrow. I have watercolors that I did when I was in college in 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. And they were Winsor and Newton, and they were fugitive colors. Fugitive means they'll fade. Or they know that it will fade. Neons, that kind of thing. A lot of the NRs also mean fugitive, which means they know it will fade. They just aren't going to tell you. But I have paintings that I did in them that are up on my walls here in Colorado, which were mile high, close to the sun, and they haven't faded. They may have faded a tad, but you're not going to know. There are fugitive colors that were used by famous painters from, I don't know, Picasso, Andy Warhol, Van Gogh. I just like saying Gogh because it's hysterical when people say it that way. Van Gogh, Da Vinci, on and on and on. Anyone who used watercolors. And those paintings are in museums, and they still look pretty much the way they look the day they were painted, even though they're fugitive or not color fast. So that's kind of just the way it is. And master watercolorists or watercolor snob people like to talk about watercolor fastness and how important it is. It's only important in how you use your paints or how you use markers. Aren't color fast, although they have made some now that are. People use those and they hang those up in museums. So guys, don't stress. Dr. Otto, she is on here on YouTube. She's fabulous. She does color fast studies. I think Jane Blundell has some color fast studies. Lindsay Wyrick, the Frugal Crafter, has some information about it. And then there's one other chick, and I can't remember her name. She does animal paintings. It will come to me eventually. I think she's done her own color fast studies, like at her house and such. And I really can't remember her name. I watch her. And, ooh, I almost wrote in the wrong place. Cobalt. And she'll talk about it with you. Believe me, you guys, it isn't as big a deal as they want you to think it is. Okay, I don't think it is. We all have our own opinions. I'm just going to say, if you're watercoloring, paint it, put it behind UV protective glass, and you won't be around in 100 years if it does fade. And if it's in a museum, they're going to take even better care of it. So sometimes you see hue on things, especially, shoot, it was already dry enough. It had a skin. Especially things like cadmium and cobalt, because they don't use those toxic products anymore. Instead, they make a hue. And a hue means that it doesn't have, like, that's cobalt, for those who can't spell. Maybe worst to last isn't, maybe I did that backwards. I may have done that backwards. I'll double check on their website. I may have inadvertently I may have to cross it out and reverse it. That's all brain damage. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly normal. It's 307 PB 29. You think I could do anything in order? No. Because this one has a 1 on it. And I certainly thought, I'm going to put it up there. So I certainly thought cobalt, the hue wasn't near as fugitive. Oh, goodness. Oh, I just flunked dot card 101. Now I don't want to send this one out. It has a messy on it. Primary blue. That, and I don't know that anyone can read my writing. I always hope they can. So I have finished up 2 of my tags for my tag swatch. In the makers of mixed art, P&M makers of mixed media art and artists, April tag swap. That's on Facebook. You can find them. And my swap partner is Carrie the Crafter on YouTube. He lives in England. I love him. I'm a fangirl. PB153. Oh, now I have blue on me there too. PB15.3. You should not be opaque. You should be T. Yep. T. And you have an open square. And what is your life rating? Is a 2. I'm pretty sure I did that back. Well, maybe not. Opaque equals that. Transparent. Which watercolor is a transparent medium, so that's what you want. And most watercolors, i.e. all but white, which most watercolorists don't use, are transparent to translucent in mass tone. If you want a white for your watercolor, use a Unival Signo after you're done painting to put in the extras, or use a gouache. Gouache watercolor is what they call it, or gouache acrylic. There is a difference. Gouache watercolor means that you can put it out like this and reactivate it with water. But it is opaque to translucent, which means if you water it down really a lot, you can see through it, kind of. But it is still not watercolor. It's graphic designers use it, illustrators use it. Now artists use it all the time. Now, if you buy acrylic gouache, that hardens, and once it's hardened, you will never re-wet it. So that's the difference. I have had both. I don't know that I like one over the other. I do have a new set, and it came wet in a airtight thing, but I've had it for like a year, maybe 2, and I don't know if it's even going to work, because I didn't want to open it until I was on screen, and then I just never did it. So it's out there in my front room in a box still, so that it's hopefully works. Maybe that's what I'll do next Monday night. T. And so these are all single pigments. You have PW6, PB, which is pigment blue, 29, O, and an opaque. I should probably put commas here so you know. This one's PB153, which is still a single pigment. This yellow-green or green-yellow that I just put down is not. This would be, and its light fast is a 1. Okay. It's called a convenience color because it's already mixed for you. It is PG7. I can do that. PG7. 7 / PY74. 4. I put that. I did not put whether it was transparent, which it is. So under here, very small, I'll put a T. And then I'll put the little box there. That one needed more space. So this one, you can get this color hypothetically by mixing PG7. I don't have a PG7, except I think that is. And a PY74. And I'm guessing that my primary yellow would be a PY74. Haha, Kristen's right. You'll learn your colors, your pigment colors quickly too. And you can have pigment, so PY74. This is a 3. This is why I think this one is TO, says TO, and it has this. And half of it's gone. So that means it's transparent if you water it down, or opaque if you use it heavily as a mass tone. So how come my chat's not moving? Maybe nobody's chatting and they're just listening to me babble. Don't know. Poor you. So that is also a possibility. But so what they're telling you is that if you mix that primary yellow dot, so put that on there. My dog is chewing something. It better not be something he's not supposed to have. If you mix that, then you will get, and you mix it with the PG7, which I don't have a PG7. Oh, is this one PG7? Did I say it was? This is the next one I'm doing is PG7. So if you mix these two, you will get this color. It's saving you time or giving you the convenience of not having to mix it. So down here, I'm going to put, what am I going to do? And don't do it the way I do it. I don't have much hand strength anymore. I have arthritis, and I have Ehlers-Danlos, which means, and the type of that I have means that I have really loose muscles. Well, tendons, ligaments, and muscles, they're loose and hyper flexible. And so deep green, I have trouble opening things the older I've gotten, and I've smashed and such my fingers over the years. So this is PG7. Oh yeah, I told you that already. PG7. Light fast 1. And it is T. Oh, I didn't put T opaque, and the number is 807. I messed up the whole system. So, but yeah, if you mix those two, you will get that green. Now, that doesn't mean that you mix them evenly. My guess would be you mix this one and then a hella lot of yellow in with it, and you'll get green. So I got all but 2 done. So yeah, so I use my teeth to open them. You should just use a pair of pliers or something. I don't know. I just use my teeth if I can't get it open, and that's not what you should do. Yellow ochre. This is one of the oldies. All those old masters probably used yellow ochre. They spelled it the English way. I don't even need that. It's PY42. Oh, we need the number first, Kristen, which is 252. Oh, this is what I was talking about with Willow earlier. See how I'm going in watercolor order, which is lightest to darkest, and I'm at yellow, and then the earth tones, lightest to darkest earth tones is how it typically is. And this one is number 252, but this one was 807. That's because this is in their series 1, or the primary series, and it's going to be cheaper than a higher one because it just doesn't take it. The pigment is cheap, and well, that's the main reason. PY prevalent PY2, and we got, well, you know that it's opaque. I don't need them to tell me. I knew that. But doing stuff like this is good for you, like writing down and making color cards for people out of your stuff. Light fast 1. Yeah, see, I'm confused. I'll have to check their scale. Because then you start learning, like you start associating yellow pigment 42 with this earth tone color or baby color. Yeah. And there are people that really like ochres, and then there are people that like siennas. So I think that's backwards. That's really going to bother me. Oh yeah, and I'll put made in France on these also, because these are France made. Let's see. This Meeden, well, these are DD whatever. It's made by a manufacturer. The name they gave them. These were made in China. Senneliers are made in France and always have been. Winsor and Newton used to always be made in England. They did everything there. And over the last few years, they've transferred to facilities in France, and all of their student grade, which means they have less pigment and more binder in them, have been moved to China. I've never been a huge fan of Winsor and Newton. That's what I used when I was in college. So I think all art schools use, but there's nothing exciting about them to me. They do what watercolors do. They use very traditional pigments. There's nothing exciting, even though, like, let's talk about Core, which is an American brand made by Golden. So Golden Paints makes Core, which is their watercolors. And their watercolors, you put them in water and they just go whoosh and spread, and they are awesome. They also are the only paints that don't use gum arabic. They may have some gum arabic, but their primary source of binder is called Aquasol. binder, I think is what they call it. It's a trade name. It's some type of chemical that they found that works very well. And no one else uses it. And it's one of the reasons their paints are so reactive. You can use watercolors with any other watercolors. You put a core watercolor down, and this is going to be the same with lots of watercolors. PBR 7. Yeah. They will push other colors. It's fun. It's exciting. There's something going on there. I tend to like excitement in my watercolors. I like a little variance and unknown when I'm painting. That's part of what makes watercolor so cool, is that you can't predict it every time. Winsor and Newton, the standbys, the OGs, you know you're going to put their color down. There's nothing new going to happen. It doesn't matter if you have a new paint. It doesn't matter anything. It just doesn't change. And I think that's one reason I just am not a Winsor Newton fan. I have not replenished any of those paints since I bought them in high school and in college. Now in college we did use their Cotman line too. And Cotman watercolors are a student grade of Winsor and Newton. And so we did use those too. I've never replaced those either. Why? They're not, I'd rather spend they're very expensive for one. They're more expensive than like Sennelier or Core might, I don't know. Sometimes all watercolors seem to be expensive anymore, but they are horribly, horribly expensive. For what you get a smaller tube usually. You get no excitement from your tube and you know what you're going to get. So, that's a good place to start. That's probably why we used them in college, because the professor knew what was going to happen and where we're going to go and all of that. PB29. PB. I can't read it. I can't read my thing. I think it's PB19. I'm going to put 19 and I hope that's right. If it's not, you'll know. Somebody will tell you. You have the name and the number. That's why you do that. My box is too small. So. Which way do they do their boxes? They put the opaque on top. Not that it matters. So this card's now all ready, except for I need to double check their light fastness, and it'll dry. And I'll put a sheet in to protect it, and then I'll put Sennelier made in France on the front. I can't do that while they're wet, but that's what I'll do. And then I pass this on to somebody who's never tried, in these type of paints. It's a good way to get, like, if you buy, like I buy Sennelier and you buy Core, then we can exchange pans, or we can exchange these, and then you can try a lot more things. And that's the excitement of it. That one really ran. So, and the other thing, I got my minis. So, a half pan is this size. I'll show you. Pans traditionally come in two sizes, half and whole. But during COVID, At least that's when I found out about them. They started, this is a whole pan. And whole pans hold they hold so many milliliters. It's a standard. And then half pans, I don't know how much they hold, but they'll hold the same amount unless you have rounded or non-standard, which there are. But now they make minis, which are like two half pans. And I got some minis when I got this order from Temu. I'm showing y'all. I got some, and they are the cutest thing ever. They are. So I have done, well, gosh, I made 2 hours tonight. I didn't mean to keep you all this long. But so tonight we did the color swatching and mixing. Ooh, see how they've dried? Look at that. Beautiful. And these are the Dededepraise 12 set ocean color glittery. So that's what they look like there. And then this is what they look like in the pan. And theirs. It's not going to stay in there. It's a cute little thing, but I doubt that I keep it that way. And then what did I do with their little? It has a little cardboard sleeve you can put on it. I don't know. We did that. And then we started, oh, this is dry finally. We started the color swatching in my Van Gogh paper book that is 8 by 8. And I can't remember how many pounds. I think it's 100 and maybe just 90 pound. I don't know. But I started color swatching the Brutfuner watercolor pencils. So I put their numbers down the way they came, not necessarily the way I'll keep them or anything, the way they came in that order. And then I tried them out as without water and then with water. And there was one more way I was going to show you can use them, because I didn't show you that way. Let's pick up, we'll do this one right here. So this one is 05. So that's this one down here. Let me move my honey card over there. It has honey in the pink. That's why I said that. So the other thing you can do is, so here's this. I have my watercolor water. There's two other ways to use it. First, I'm going to dip it into the water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapped it off. I did 5 seconds because that way I know it's a standard. And then I can use it this way. And that's what it puts out. Or don't look at my dirty hands. That's what happens when you paint. That's what happens if the lead is, if you dip it. That's how they come out. The last way to use it is I got this out of the water, and you can go like this. And just paint the tip, and then put it directly. And see, it's a different color. This is all, no, it isn't. This is 05. Pooh. What am I going to do? I know what I'll do. That ruined it, but don't worry about it. So I'll do it again. So here it is. And I did it this way. That's from the brush itself. Okay. Then I have a dry lead again. I'm going to dip it in my water. And I know that if I count to 5, that's typically what I'll do. And this is how it looks when you do it that way. And so I can also put those down from the brush and tip down, and then wet lead. So you can also, there are 4 ways you can do it technically. It looks like you're going to get about the same. It's a little dirtier when you do it from the water. When you use your brush to do it directly from the tip. and it seems to be a little more pigmented when you do it with a wet lead, which is what I would expect. But we'll see how those dry. And you can do that with all of them. Next Monday night, I'll have new supplies for you that I haven't tried. I will leave some of the Medina color half pans to swatch. I'll already have them all ready to go as far as the swatching setup and everything. And I'll probably have done all of them, most of them, but I will finish them up with you. I will show you the rest of these Brutfuners swatched out because I have 120 of them. And then maybe we'll swatch out these Senneliers that I did last week with you, because I'm tired and I'm not going to get that done tonight. But that's what we'll do next week. And I also we'll have some more watercolors coming in. Hopefully my husband doesn't hear that. And that's why I do auctions, to pay for my watercolor, to pay for this stuff. I also have the Brutfuners that are the macaroons, that are the pastel colors. So we'll swatch those out too, or at least some of them, because I think there are 60 or 80 in there, maybe 50. Maybe it's not as many as I thought, but I will do those. So we'll have some more new supplies to come play with. And all of those supplies, no, the Senneliers are from Amazon. The Medinas will be from Temu. We've already seen those. And the Brutfuners are from Temu. And who knows, I ordered something else, and I'm hoping I'll have it in by then. I might have to use these swatches right here. Oops, that one got some paint on it just now. Kristen, good job. I might have to use these swatches as part of an Instagram or something. But thank you all for joining me on Mondays for this. I do have an auction coming up on Thursday morning. I think it's like the 28th. I don't know. But it's this Thursday, and it will be all beads and jewelry findings. I had a request from Zola and someone else for beads last week. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll have crystals, natural stones, glass, and then all different types of silver and gold tone findings, and stainless steel. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. That always helps me with the YouTube algorithm. If you're a first-time watcher, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the content or watched it longer than a minute, because that means you probably enjoyed something of it. And then don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe so that you can find me again, because YouTube is vast and you may never get redirected to me again if you don't hit that bell. So all of that is appreciated. And let's see. If you really liked something on here and are interested in it, in the drop down menu under my name and the title there, I put all of the stuff I got from Temu, and all you have to do is copy and paste that to that app. I also got a coupon code where you can get, I don't know, 25% off or something if you're a first time Temu user. So I will put that in that drop down menu for y'all too. Thanks again. Have a great night, and I will see you around the tube.